King Charles is about to vow an oath to serve the people of his country and honorably represent the Commonwealth nations, putting the welfare of his people before anyone else, including his own family needs and his own personal needs. Considering this commitment, we have to understand that at the age of 74, and after having waited patiently in the wings to continue his mother's legacy, that Charles is listening to the advice of expert palace advisors on what are the smartest choices when it comes to choosing family photos for his souvenir coronation magazine. After all, King Charles is the keeper of an age-old tradition. He is going to want the coronation to be focused on the king and queen being officially crowned as monarchs of the Commonwealth. Of course, that is what the occasion is all about. This is not a moment that is focused on his personal life, but more so on his public duties and his service to his people. If he had happened to have a child born physically disabled, for example, of course he or she would also be in the album. But since the question about a happy photo chosen for the album that includes his second-born, much-loved son soon after his ill-fated marriage to Meghan, Charles has included that group photo as part of his timeline. By leaving out any photos of the invisible Sussex kids, including christening and birthday photos, the king is showing a commitment to serve with transparency, and also to honor his obligation as a force for good, avoiding any personal connections or involvement in corruption when it comes to the line of succession. And in fact, that involves a lot more serious scrutiny than anything that's supposed to make the public happy on a website. Successions need to be approved by Parliament, not a website list that promotes artificial status or celebrity connections or money. Some people are very unhappy with Charles for including a photo of Harry and Meghan, and many other people are just sick and tired of having to figure out whether his decisions are smart or tactical or whatever. A lot of people are saying that his decisions should be viewed as positive decisions, and it should be obvious. Many people are upset because they believe that anything involving Harry and Meghan is a bad decision. Because the argument could be made that he is rewarding them for their nasty behavior. People are already sick of Charles, and he's already not a successful monarch thanks to trying to appease the woke for no real reason. And many people find themselves caring less and less about the monarchy as a whole. And also, people didn't expect that, but it did happen pretty suddenly. A lot of people just don't feel enthusiasm anymore, and it might be his fault. There are many people who feel this way because there are many people who absolutely despise Meghan and Harry thanks to their bad behavior. A lot of people have said that maybe it would be better if William could just be king and we can just skip Charles altogether. People are sick and tired of the crap that comes from Harry and Meghan, and all these olive branches that King Charles has extended to them are kind of a slap in the face to the people of the UK. Many people at this point are just not interested in anything that has to do with the royal family at this point. And let's think about all the smoke and mirrors when it comes to Harry's invisible children, the moon bumps, the surrogacy, which we all know about. A lot of people say it feels like we're being treated like a bunch of idiots. People claim that Charles is choosing his family over the people of the UK, and if that's true, it's wrong. It does look like Harry and Meghan are being rewarded for the horrible things they did to the family. If family really is so important, maybe they need to apologize to William because he has been left high and dry in this situation, after Charles has put everyone off the monarchy with his tone-deaf choices. There are all these headlines that Charles is extending an olive branch to Harry and Meghan, and of course, that offends people. Even more ridiculous that he is putting Meghan in a special place by including her and Harry in that souvenir booklet. Most likely, this is a tactical decision from the king. He's just trying to keep things calm in the run-up to the coronation itself. There are way too many supposed insider leaks that things are going to happen after the coronation. There are also lots of rumors that the marriage between Meghan and Harry is completely done for in all but name. It looks like karma really may be creeping in, finally. People have to put their trust in the king and his close advisors. They know what they're doing. People need to trust that karma will pull up outside the Montecito McMansion, and Meghan's going to be dragged over the coals at that point, with all her horrible misdeeds in her past finally coming out. And as for Harry, well, he has just gone along with this nonsense the whole time. His karma is, though, that he has already lost everything. He lost his family, he lost his country, his birthright, his fortune, his friends, his home. He is a very damaged individual. He's a drug addict and an alcoholic. He'll spend the rest of his life in therapy, and he'll probably die lonely. The truth about the kids is going to be long gone, so he will not even have his own children to bring him joy when he gets older. In Meghan's fantasy world, though, she would just expect the king to Photoshop in a photo of one of the Renta-Archies and somebody's little red-haired one-year-old. And then we're just going to have to wait for the wine fest about that. Meghan's going to get somebody to do it on her behalf, though. She's not going to get her hands dirty. She's only going to add to her own self-created farce. I did notice a reference to monarchs of the empire. There is not a British Empire anymore, and some or most matters to do with the ramifications of being former colonies are important to citizens of some former colonies. Now, if matters that have to do with these concerns are not discussed commonly in UK schools and institutions, I think it's important that they should be. Many of the people who, like Meghan Markle, who view her as this heroine, may have complicated connections to those former colonies, and I suspect that trying to understand why they consider Meghan to be some type of heroine, in spite of many other people seeing the obvious unsuitability of Meghan to fit that description, would help bridge some tolerance and acceptance of some or most formerly colonized people's understanding of their past. I saw that some people who were invited to the coronation were honored recent recipients of the British Empire Award. Now, I had considered writing to the UK government and King Charles to suggest that maybe the medal could benefit from getting a new name. Maybe it could be the Award of the United Kingdom, considering that the British Empire doesn't exist anymore. Similarly, the system of orders and companions should be renamed Order of the United Kingdom instead of OBE, right? Now, if the king happens to pass away or can't serve the monarchy due to health problems anymore, then he needs to step down. And would that mean that automatically Prince William would become king? So what would happen to Queen Consort Camilla? Would she also lose her reign in place of Princess Catherine? Anyway, Charles just had to go and mess stuff up for himself, didn't he? I knew a wedding photographer once took a photo or two of the entire family and friends, and the bride and groom together, but with a gap between them. Now, he said when they split up, at least the bride can cut him out of the photo and not have to lose a lot of her dress as well. And you, do you agree with the views in my video? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is helpful, don't be afraid to like and share it with anyone else who would enjoy it.